Namaskar and welcome to Sansad Television. I am Vishal Dahiya and you're watching our show Perspective, where we bring you detailed analysis of key national and international issues. Today we're going to talk about India's traditional system of medicine and the concept of Heal in India as well. Now, Ayush denotes Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homoeopathy. With people from different countries of the world coming to India for treatment in large numbers, India has now emerged as one of the fastest growing medical tourism centers in Asia. Market size of Ayush sector has grown by 17% per annum from 2014 to 2020 and is further projected to reach 23.3 billion US dollars in financial year 2022. Now, with an aim to further boost medical tourism, the government has launched a Heal in India program. In a bid to promote the traditional medicine industry, Prime Minister Modi in April this year announced that India will soon launch Ayush Mark, which will provide authenticity to Ayush products made in India. He also announced a special visa category for those who want to travel to the country to avail of Ayush therapies. Today, we will discuss and analyze the opportunities and challenges in traditional medicine industry and its use to further promote medical tourism in India. And for more on this, we're joined by a distinguished panel of experts. Let me first introduce them to you. Beginning with, we have with us Ms. Tanuja Nesri. She is the Director for All India Institute of Ayurveda. Welcome to Sansad Television, ma'am. We also have with us Dr. Manoj Nesri, Advisor Ayurveda with the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. And Dr. Nitin Agarwal, who is the National Secretary of Vishwa Ayurveda Parishad, is also joining us. Welcome both of you gentlemen as well to Sansad Television. I'll start with Dr. Manoj Nesri, and let's first start by, taking an overview of the Ayush medicine in India, specifically when we're talking about the traditional medicine, how we have fared so far, and the data which I was quoting clearly points out that the growth is phenomenal.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to tell that when we talk at the international forum, the traditional medicine, so people, they understand traditional medicine is the folk medicine. But I would like to first actually clarify that the Ayurveda or the Indian systems of medicine, they are not the folk medicine because they are a codified system. Codified system means they are properly documented, they are validated, and there is a lot of data, which is scientific data, which is available. So, for example, the Ayurveda, the Unani, Siddha, and the Sovarikpa. So, these are the Indian systems of medicine which are regulated under the federal law of India, and that is called as National Commission of Indian Medicine Act 2020. Earlier, this was called as Indian Medicine Central Council Act 1970, and the drugs of these systems, they are regulated under the Drugs and Cosmetic Act 1940 and the rules 1945. So this regulatory provision is already there, and this is a robust regulatory provision at the central level as well as at the state level. So this provision is there. And if we talk about the infrastructure of Ayurveda alone, so there are more than 450 Ayurveda colleges which are providing the Ayurvedic education. And the Ayurveda education, when we say, that is the 5.5 years of a degree course, in which the 4.5 years is the actually the education, and the 1 year is the compulsory internship. After that, the student, they can go for the MD, which is for the 3 years, or the MS, which is for 3 years, and after that they can also go for the PhD. And this MD or MS, this is available in 22 different specialties. So whether it is the Kaya Chikitsa, or called as the internal medicine, the Panchakarma, the Sri Rog and Procedure Tantra, that is the gynecology and obstetrics, or it is the Bal Rog, and so on. So it is a very robust mechanism, and this is an integrated kind of course where the treatment is totally Ayurvedic, the diagnosis is total Ayurveda. At the same time, they are supplemented with the modern technology, scientific technology. And that's what actually it has been defined in the Act as well, that Ayurveda is the Ashtanga Ayurveda supplemented with the modern advances as notified by the Central Council. So this is the definition.
Okay. So that pretty much explains what we are referring to when we are talking about Ayush, or traditional system of medicine, India's traditional system of medicine. There, of course, that puts things in perspective. Let me bring in Ms. Tanuja Nesri here as well. Ms. Nesri, what makes these components of Ayush, this traditional system of Indian medicine, so popular around the world?
Yes, the strength of this traditional medicine, the indigenous system of India, which is more robust as a healthcare system in India, has a strength in prevention. It is a 5P medicine, we can say: prevention, predictive, promotive, as well as a complete cure. So it has its inherent nature as a holistic and integrated solution. So across the globe, pre-COVID and the post-COVID and during COVID also, this system has the strength of providing the holistic and integrated solution and the management for each and every element, starting from cancer to common cold. And in all the specialities, we can provide the solution and the management with the panchakarma, biopurification, the oral medication, diet, lifestyle, and the counseling. And it provides the harmony within the ourselves and the outside environment. So across the globe, we can consider this as a solution, as a one health. That's
Okay.
is the strength.
Okay.
And for the non-communicable diseases, for the stress disorder, and various other elements like musculoskeletal disorder, skin disorder, this can be considered as the mainstream, as a standalone medicine. And with many other elements, this can be used as a complementary. There is no competition. It is a complementary medicine. And as an adjuvant also, we can give this. And the one very important aspect of this medicine, a special branch, is rejuvenation, the sand therapy, which no other system has. So it is the greatest gift to the entire humanity, we can say. And during COVID, when we really wanted to have strengthen our immune system, so we have various measures like medicinal plants, diet, lifestyle, which really help in boosting one's immunity. That's the rejuvenation. I think that's the strength of this system.
Okay. The strengths of the system and, of course, various aspects out there. Dr. Nitin Agarwal, is the National Secretary of the Vishwa Ayurveda organization out there, the Parishad. What we're trying to understand, if you look at India and the geographical spread as well, the way the traditional system of Indian medicine is being practiced and is becoming popular across the world, vis-a-vis the infrastructural capabilities, how are we placed? India per se, there might be some states which might be doing very good, but there might be others which do have good infrastructure facilities but are not that popular.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, Ayurveda and especially Panchkarma therapies, they are becoming increasingly popular all over the world, particularly in Western countries. And we have realized that I traveled to so many countries and I've seen that there have been a lot more queries coming about visiting India exclusively for Panchkarma treatments also. So government of India, especially the present dispensation, has been working very cooperatively also with the private sector, so that we can have the clinics, we can have very high-level Panchkarma centers or hospitals opened up all over the country. Yes, you were right. Right now, as we all know, Kerala is the most sought destination state in India, where it has been promoted also as one of the main sections for tourism. And a lot of people, they relate Panchkarma to Kerala, which is, of course, not just specifically related to one state, but it is a pan-India therapy. I would say an international therapy in that sense. And as Dr. Manoj Nesri rightly pointed out, that Ayush system of medicines, particularly Ayurveda, is not folk medicine. It's a complete evolved medical science, which has been practiced for thousands of years very successfully. And we can provide a very viable alternative to the modern system, where it has a lot of limitations, especially lifestyle disorders, stress management. When we talk about longevity, Rasayana therapy, which is very unique to Ayurveda, there's no other science which talks about healing of the body and making someone young or younger, irrespective of the age. So this is all Vedic traditions which we have been following. And if we are able to open some large centers of Panchkarma all over India, then our experience also shows us that there are several dedicated patients or clients, we can call them, coming from West or from different parts of the world only for Panchkarma to India or for Ayurveda therapy per se. And they come here, they stay here for 2 weeks up to 2 months period for this therapy dedicated only to this. So that means this shows their dedication, and this shows that if we are able to successfully tap this clientele, we can have a very large possibility, what we call, and what our Honorable Prime Minister also said, medical tourism in Ayush system of medicines.
Okay. Let me bring in again Dr. Manoj Nesri here. Dr. Nesri, Dr. Agrawal referred to this concept of medical tourism and trying to tap into that that resource. Of course, those who are willing to come because of the popularity of this system of medicine world over. Now, if you could explain to us the concept of heal in India, because that is what is being talked about, and how are we planning to move ahead vis-a-vis this particular aspect and this sector, that is Ayush?
In the Heal in India program, it is basically the efforts of the government of India to promote the strengths of Ayurveda and Yoga and the Siddha, so all these systems for the betterment of the humanity. There is a lot of demand all over the country, all over the world. It is not only the West, but even there are many patients, those who are coming from the Africa, there are many those who are coming from the Latin America, and there are many more those who are coming from even our neighborhood also. And because there are many strengths, one is the yoga. Yoga is and for that purpose, say for example, the Uttarakhand or especially the Rishikesh, if you say. So this is the very center of attraction, especially for the yoga, whereas for the purpose of Ayurveda, many people, they go to Kerala, but now the other states, they are also picking up, especially like the Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, the Gujarat. So they are picking up, and there is a lot of demand. So in this direction, the government of India has taken the initiative, and the government of India launched a special program called as the Champion Sector of Services. The Champion Sector of Services program is basically to help and give support the private sector, because at the government sector, definitely the National Ayush Mission, the Ayushman Bharat, and the National Health Mission. So these three programs are there, which are being running for many years, wherein actually we are supporting the state government. But with the private sector, there was no such support. And that's why the Champion Sector of Services, this scheme was launched in the year 2019, where the government of India is supporting the private sector to establish the Ayush hospitals like the Ayurveda hospital or the Siddha hospital, so likewise. And not only hospital, even the daycare center as well, and in which the financial support is provided to the investors in terms of the interest subsidy. The second component, which is very much important, is the skilling, because not only the Ayurveda doctors, but then the supporting staff is very much required. So whether they are the therapists, it may be Panchakarma therapists, it could be Marma, it could be Prakriti analysts. So this skilling program is required, and for that purpose of skilling, the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India launched a special program for the skilling, and there is a health sector, Ayush sector sub-skill council is there, and these skilling programs are conducted at the same time to make the information available to the foreigners. The Ayush digital portal has been launched, and this digital portal, so it provides the end-to-end connectivity. It provides all the information to those who are actually health seekers and those who want to come to India. At the same time, the ministry as a whole government approach, that means in collaboration with the Ministry of External Affairs, the Ministry of Commerce, and the other ministries, we are having the dialogue with the various embassies in New Delhi. At the same time, the various countries all over the world, so whether they are the African countries, whether they are our neighboring countries. And because of that, there is the legal recognition to the Ayurveda and these systems, which is very much essential in those countries. The third part is providing the insurance coverage. So in India, the Ministry of Ayush had in dialogue with the Insurance Development Regulatory Authority, and with that, the various notifications have been issued, and now many insurance companies, they have come forward, and they are now providing the coverage, insurance coverage to various treatments which are being provided in India. At the same time, we are also in dialogue with the various insurance authorities in different countries, so that this insurance portability, this can be promoted, and with this insurance portability, many more the patient, they can come from the various countries to India and they can take the treatment. So one aspect is the patients, they can come to India and we can provide them the treatment, whether it is through the Ayurveda or the other systems of medicine. The second part of this particular Heal in India is that we can establish the Ayurveda hospitals in other countries. Say, for example, if somebody they want to have the treatment in Zimbabwe, but then it will be difficult for all the people from over there to come to actually India. But if we suppose establish the hospital in Zimbabwe itself, then many more people in Zimbabwe and the neighboring country to Zimbabwe, they can also take the benefit. So this is one example. And likewise, we are also encouraging the private investors to for the outbound investment, where actually they can go to different countries and they can establish these Ayurveda hospital centers over there, where actually Ayurveda and yoga, all this combination treatment, they can be given either for the acute diseases, post-COVID treatment, or even for the non-communicable disease, and not only for that, even for the promotion of the health and well-being.
Okay. So that's a very elaborate plan out there to try and look at this particular concept of Heal in India and push it through forward in various ways. Ms. Tanuja Neshri, from the infrastructure point of view, I'd like to bring you back where Dr. Agarwal left it, and of course various aspects of it being dealt by Dr. Manoj Neshri as well. But in your views, it's a very popular system of medicine now world over, and the numbers say it, the facts say it. It's not just you or me pointing it out. The question is, how is our infrastructure in your views as of now, and what more needs to be done? Because various policy issues Dr. Manoj Neshri referred to, they would of course help. But in your views as a practitioner, how do you see the infrastructure to be augmented further in many ways?
Yes. Right now, through the Ministry of Ayush, as equally parallel to the conventional system as a Health Ministry of Health, the Ayush Ministry, and even if the institutions like Center of Excellence, like All India Institute of Ayurveda, and many national institutions, we have a robust network at present as an infrastructure, we can say. At India, we have 700 Ayush institutions, more than 400 Ayurveda institutions, 700,000. That is 7 lakh trained licensed manpower. We have UG and PG, postgraduate strength, 5,500, 23,000 government dispensaries in the private sector. Public sector, we have the dispensaries and the institutions, and also the hospital, standalone Ayush hospitals. And if you consider the number of the industry, it is more than 9,000 Ayush industry. So for a treatment as a medical tourism and for the wellness tourism, the manpower, trained manpower, which is a competent, having a good communication skill and the confidence to treat any disease with the holistic Ayurveda, we have the robust infrastructure as a hospital, OPD, IPD setup, and also the services. And for the medicine, we have a quality, safety, and efficacy parameter which are ensured for the medicine. So we have GMP certified manufacturing unit. And recently, last week, Ministry of FSSI has also notified the Ayurveda Ahar, that is the food, the Ayush food, a separate category of the what we can say therapeutic diet, that also can boost the FBOs and the food industry to bring out with the healthy food options to all the consumers. So now the more important thing, when we consider that there should be a robust healthcare system, it is not the physician and the hospital and the infrastructure, but we need a paramedical force also. And fortunately, we have the trained Ayush, that the nursing professional, which are also trained in Ayush. And on the background of the International Nurses Day, which is celebrated yesterday, and now also it is to be celebrated, and it says that empower the nurses and invest in the nursing. So we also are working closely with the Nursing Council of India to have integration of the Ayush in the nursing also. And we have the therapist also for the Panchakarma. So paramedical staff medical professional, the medicine, and the most important in India are consumers. Like the Ayush is deeply rooted into the public health system. So the India, like Ayush, is imbibed in our culture. So
Okay.
whatever our dadimas, grandmas nuske, the
Indeed.
science behind it is Ayurveda. So the Indian population, they know when we say that khichdi, so they know how to prepare a khichdi. So we have the robust healthcare system, which is deeply rooted in our society. That's the
Mhm.
most biggest advantage to have heal in India. But heal by India is that we have the manpower which is competent, having a good English. They can speak in English. They have a good communication.
Okay.
So we can export these services. Our doctors, our therapists, our nurses, our professionals, they can go
Okay.
abroad and they can also communicate and give their services in the form of the treatment, in the form of promotion.
Indeed.
What
Indeed.
exactly is needed? This tradition needs to be supported by the technology, and the classical should be made contemporary.
Okay.
That's what we are doing with many of our collaborations with the premier organizations like IITs, IIMs within India, and now the startup ecosystem, which is like we have at All India, the incubation center,
Uh-huh.
and where we are developing with the startup ecosystem for the Ayush food technology, Ayush biomedical engineering, and IT support, IT solutions like telemedicine, and also e-learning apps, learning management system through IT infrastructure. If
Indeed.
these three
The
technologies
technology
are
does play that important role there, as you're pointing out, and from classical to contemporary, that's what the key there element is. Quick concluding comments from you, Dr. Agarwal, because earlier in your first response, you referred to how we can go ahead and make more use of this knowledge and this talent as well if we put in place Panchkarma centers at various places and all that. So from the industry's perspective also, what is it that is required to be done?
Actually, yes, apart from the supportive government policies that we all need, I think it is very important that the private sector and the industry sector to come forward in this field, especially to tap the large potential of medical tourism in India vis-a-vis Ayush systems. Because there is a lot of awareness now, and more people want to come. What we need to provide is the confidence among people, citizens of Europe, North America, Russia, CIS countries, as well as all other countries, where if they feel that if they go to India for such therapies or such treatments, they land up in an authentic Ayurveda clinic or an authentic Ayurveda hospital. This is the biggest apprehension that we have felt, especially for people not able to make a decision to visit our country.
Okay.
And that is why this Ayush visa, I think, will be a bigger landmark or like a ease in this doing, because then our embassies will be able also to probably notify certain authentic centers all over the country, not only in just one state or one particular area, but all over, where it can be combined together with tourism, with our cultural identities, and so that people can very easily come. Like, for example, we at Bliss Ayurveda here, what we do is that we create a confidence where all the patients or the clients, they are taken care from the airport to airport, which means that as they land in Delhi airport, they are being taken care of by our team, and a full hospitality is being provided with confidence that not only they will get better treatments, but they are also
Indeed,
very well protected.
It is all about building the confidence there, as you're pointing out, Dr. Agarwal, and the steps like the proposals like Ayush Visa or even Ayush Mark, when we're talking about Ayush-related products, the authenticity and the confidence of the end beneficiary, the consumer here, the person who wants to get treated through this particular system of medicine, that is most important. Thank you once again, Dr. Nitin Agarwal, Dr. Manoj Nesri and Ms. Tanuja Nesri as well, for sharing your views and insight with us and our viewers. As our experts were pointing out, this is clearly one area where India has achieved a lot, has made a mark for itself on the world stage, and there is a lot of scope for more improvement and more work to be done on various aspects, not only government policies, but also private industry working hand in gloves with both stakeholders trying to build that confidence and not only work on the Ayush therapies, but also on trained manpower. We'll come back again with a different topic. Till then, keep watching Sansad Television. Thank you.